So on this President's Day, maybe a little reflection on the direction of our country, because I wanted to ask you as well about a focus group that you did with cadets and professors at West Point at the New Year. Now, full disclosure, you're not agnostic on West Point, the U.S. Military Academy. You're a professor there. You think it's the best. You do want people to understand, though, more about the university for America's future military leaders. And I want to play this. This is a moment where you ask the cadets and their professors about their observations on their school in America. Here it is.
We're all coming from different walks of life. Some of us coming from prior service, some straight from high school, some from other colleges beforehand. And I think the Honor Code is also a great example of an equalizer. West Point is an equalizer between people. It brings people together, breaks them down, and then builds them back up.
It doesn't matter who you are when you come to the U.S. because you can do anything when you're here. And that is something that is deeply, uniquely American.
Everybody in America wants to live a better life. People who immigrate, they want to live a better life. And that's what America is.
Why do you think it's so important for people to get a look into what they're thinking and what's motivating their service?
Well, first off, they're going to be the leaders, politically, militarily, economically. You go to West Point and you have the character and the drive and the selfless service that makes you so desirable for the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life. That's number one. But more importantly, they're so optimistic. They believe in this country, in its principles, in its values. They believe in the American exceptionalism. They're everything that we want from a great American. And when I walk into the room and I teach them, and I really believe this, I'm the worst person in the room. They do more for this country in a day than I do in a year. I'll give you an example. I walk out of this dinner that was happening for the last 100 days of the seniors. They're getting ready to graduate. And I see these soldiers coming out. It's Friday night, 9 p.m., and they're in full gear, carrying 30 or 40-pound rucksacks, and they're going off to train all night on a Friday night. No other school does this. They do this selflessly. They do this to serve their country. They're being prepared to defend us, and I'm so grateful for it. I can sleep easier at night because they are working at night to learn how to defend America.
You also talk to them about the Constitution and what it means to them. And this is significant for a very important reason that we'll touch on after this. Here's what that moment looks like.
We are a country built on values. We all here, officers and the cadets, swear an oath to the Constitution, that not to a president, not to a leader.
The Constitution means America because the Constitution is the very soul of America.
I want them to understand that it is just a piece of paper until we believe in it and we swear to uphold, support, and defend it with our lives.
I thought that was interesting because this focus on the Constitution being in their oath, which is why you were asking them about it, it's an important distinction at a time when, honestly, the military, which is quite popular, is also becoming quite politicized.
Well, I don't believe that. I believe
that it's becoming politicized.
That there are people who might try to politicize it, but that it is resisting successfully. It is the most trusted, the most confidence of any institution in America, and West Point is the key starting point for that military. But this applies to all soldiers everywhere. When you see a soldier on President's Day, walk up to them. It's not enough to say thank you for your service. Thank you for what you represent for America. That Constitution matters to us. It's significant. As the professor said, it is not a piece of paper. It is what makes this country so exceptional. And West Point teaches that every single day. West Point teaches the values of America and the purpose of America and the exceptionalism of America. And it's the way this country is supposed to be.
Well, Frank, I thank you. It's really interesting. It's not every day you get to hear from cadets. A lot of active duty service members, under most circumstances, are not able to do press. You just don't get to hear from them. So it's kind of interesting to see what they're thinking.
And here's the thing. Everything they say is music to my ears. Everything that they say tells me that it's going to be okay.
You are the proselytizer. I will tell you on that. Frank, thank you. Really appreciate it. Frank Luntz.